out of headquarters.
Did you guys give them photos and they painted them?
Lucy shot the photos. We gave them to this dude. He took them down to Tijuana.
It's fucking awesome. Terry's is my favorite. Eric's. See, Eric's is fucking.
Here, look at you, mate. Do this.
You're fixing your hair?
No, I'm just like, hey, hey. And you know how to get to my house tomorrow?
No, I'll call you.
It's on for sure.
Yeah.
I'll set that time aside.
Okay.
We'll film for an hour or two.
Okay, cool.
Dude, when you get loaded, when we do the cribs, my living room is fucking rehearsal space.
When I first started the show, one of the first people I had in mind to do a show on was Jim, and it seemed like he didn't want to do it at all. It started, and it was like I was filming the Eric Ellington episode, and Jim just kind of like hijacked it, like, hey, Patrick, come outside, I'm gonna pull up in my Cadillac, you gotta get a shot. And that just to me is like, sums up like Jim's deal, like, you know, it's the kind of personality that I'm just drawn to because I want to be entertained. This is it, just a small glimpse into Jim, into who Jim Greco is.
Yo, check 1, 2, yo, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Hear that reverb?
Yeah. So this is your trick list?
Yeah, you can see. Got one yesterday though. It's a cheap $100 guitar, but it has my favorite artist, Prince, the Ronettes, and St. Michael for protection. That's the ad when I first got off drugs, and I made an official announcement that I'm back. And this is my altar right here, because skateboarding and rock and roll is my religion, and Johnny Thunders is God. This one's Chucky. This one hasn't come out yet. It's Chucky holding a hammer to smash somebody with a hammer. This is the jacket. I ollied off the car wash. I have it saved. I saved these things. I'm crazy. I don't know. This is a knob I took off a Wilshire rail.
Jim, what's up with the wooden barriers right there?
That's to block out sound to the neighbors. It's not working very well.
Greco, he won't even answer. Great. Greco, get the girl out and get the guitar on and let's get to work.
I've heard that you sometimes have denied that was you in there.
Yeah, I guess. When I was younger, I was all concerned about it, but...
So Tim Upson was starting to get hooked up first?
Yeah, Tim, he always had sponsors and shit, and like, he was always hooked up because he was always the best, like, you know? Like, you go to a skate park and you see Timmy skate skate park and he just blows your whole joint out. It's just like, pfft.
How'd you get on Birdhouse?
I was like 14. I was getting flowed boards from a local board company and stuff. I was skating Newburgh and Willie Santos seen me skate. Then I got kicked off Birdhouse, and then I rolled for Zero.
You'd heard about this kid for ages. That was the first time I ever saw footage of him, was in the hookup studio. He switched 360 flip this gap in his hometown, and I thought that was amazing. And then he backflipped this, you know, that Long Beach rail, that super steep rail, and he was killing it. So he got on pretty quickly. He was absolute pure focus. Like, there was nothing distracting him whatsoever. I live a certain bit of nostalgia too, just talking about it and kind of just reflecting on those stories, and it kind of keeps me grounded to what, you know, what this company's been through and what it's gone through. And these are the stories that keep us going, like on road trips and stuff, because all the new dudes on the team, you know, like I told you, but they don't know all these, like, you know, mysteries about all the other guys and where things went right and where things went wrong.
Was there a time when you didn't want it?
No, I've always wanted it since the first day. I put things in my path that have kind of like steered me away. When I shot heroin, that drug pretty much steps in between, like, it steps in between your dreams. I couldn't really show up to get tricks, let alone, you know, go out there and lay hammers or anything like that.
What's a hammer? Like, what's hammers?
Hammers are like skateboard tricks that make you feel so good that they're just hammers that if you were to film a video part, you'd save them for the end of your part. Like, sometimes if I want to get tricks for my video part, and then I'll get like the newspaper and I'll cut a bunch of like straight lines of paper and I'll make a ring link, like those things in kindergarten where you count the days off to Christmas. It's like a paper link like that. And then I'll staple, like, I'll make like one of these hammers and you save them all up to the end. So like at the end, you're quiet in the storm and then you're hitting them with a hammer. At the end, you're hitting them with a bunch of hammers. No, I just think like nobody can cause any effect on you. You know what I mean? You're gonna cause your own effects on yourself, and you can only experience what you cause to yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I pretty much believe. If you want to go out and skate and get tricks, you're gonna go out and skate and get tricks. And I don't care who's calling your house at 9 in the morning, who's breathing down your neck, what deadlines you gotta do. It's not gonna, if you don't wanna do it and don't have the hunger to do it, it's not gonna happen. But if you really wanna do it and you love it, you're doing this shit with or without a shoe deal, with or without someone, you know, calling you up, with or without anything. I figured out what I wanted to do when I was 11. I quit the baseball team the next day. You know, here I am. Jimmy Greco. I'm out here with Patrick Odell, and we're filming an episode for his Vice TV show right now. Seeing if you're around and want to hang out tonight, possibly, I don't know, do something. That guy that runs the joint, one of the most rock and roll guys imaginable. What's your name? Jimmy. Yeah. Pleasure to meet you.
Jimmy?
I'm Jimmy.
Which Jimmy?
Jimmy Greco.
Oh my fucking god. Why do you look so different? You know, you're fucking one of my heroes. Even when I was in Germany with Iggy, right? I went and there was your like skateboards everywhere. Like I don't even know you and I love you. But now I really know you. I have Johnny Thunder's rosary beads off his neck.
Wow.
And they hang, yeah, right? And of course I would never give them to you, right? Yeah.
My friend right here.
Yeah, I love him. He's famous everywhere. Every country I've ever been to, there he is. And now we finally meet. It's awesome.
How do you know who Jim is?
Well, first of all, he's like got that Steven Tyler or Iggy Pop quality. Like he shines. Like I mean, or Debbie Harry. Like the people have this thing when you look at them, they pop out. And I'm not even a skateboarder, but he's like he's more like a rock star. You know what I mean? He's more like the like the stars in the sky. When it's like when you know, like you know there's God, you know there's Iggy, you know there's Joey, you know there's Debbie, you know there's Jimmy Greco. That's it. That's how you know. You just know you know.
And look at my boots. That's what I'm talking about. Can't get boots like that around where I live.
He always has something to enter the room with. It seems like he's sitting in his car, and he's already got his first line planned out. You know, he walks into the room and it's either like, this is the trick I gotta do, like, yeah, or like, oh man, I gotta find me some platforms, or like, but I remember you coming back to the house and being like, I just saw Jim like with platforms and leopards, and I remember you telling me about how he was like, took you to the store and he's like, oh, you'll be ready for this in 3 years.
Yeah. Jim is one of the people that just doesn't care, like, fuck what you feel, how you feel, whatever. Like, I'm Jim Greco, I'm gonna do me. Straight, point blank, you know what I mean? So, he's tight, man, he's tight as fuck.
What about, didn't Jim go through a phase again in all his gear with like pirate and like everything hanging back to factory?
He did, yeah.
that was like the most drastic thing. He went from like earrings, hats, scarves coming from everywhere, and the whole thing, and then just like gave it all up right to like white t-shirts, a crew shirt, and some crew pants, and like a fade. But then he told me afterwards that that's one of the worst mistakes he ever could have made. He's like, I regret that, going through that phase every single day. He's like, I gotta work so hard now to get back from that.
I think Jim is like the first dude to like get on that tight jeans shit, like side pipe, have your own slang and lingo and shit. And Jim like was the originator of all that shit. Yeah. Even at getting wasted and skating like heavy, like he was kind of like one of those dudes just get wasted and heavily skate. But he's sick. He's a dope dude.
Well, there was a long time when there was no footage of him. It was like 2 years.
2 years went past, yeah, with nothing. And then Baker 2G came out. And that motherfucker was just flying down everything. And I was like, you fucking pieces of shit told me this dickhead couldn't skate. Motherfucker was ripping, like some hardcore shit, like ripping. I was just like, yes. 15, 16 times before I went skate. Nollie backside flip. Set my feet up like him. Nollie backside flip, right down Wilshire. Ugh. That fool's sick, man.
Jimmy Greco.
Yeah.
This character here, he's the black dude. Cool cat, man. I love him on the videos. This guy here's got the blonde hair and he likes to drink Budweiser. This guy here is really cool. I met him at a wedding. I forget his name, but I painted him anyway. The Simple Board. This is the Simple Board, which will be on skateboards all over the world. It just says Baker. Distorted, little like slashes of paint on there. I think they're gonna really like it. Jimmy seems to have liked it.
See, those are the first Baker stickers ever. And the flyer for Baker 3. And then underneath that is the Holy of Holies. A ticket stub from the Baker 2 premiere.
What was the process for filming Baker 2G?
That's an interesting like period for him there, because we were all like wrapped up in drinking and smoking weed and like partying at the time, you know, like
I was off hard drugs. Well, I fucked around with hard drugs a lot through the filming of Baker 2G, but I would curve it to just smoking weed at night. And I got on a little hammer program where I didn't, get high all day.
What about Wilshire in the Baker 2G video? Was that one night?
Yeah, most of the stuff.
What tricks did you do?
Well, backlip to 15, backside 5-0, or switch frontside flip to 10 over the rail was one night. It was one of my favorite works in skating.
he just decided like, I got to get this video part done. He took like 3 months with that Baker 2G part. It's just like anybody who wants to put out a gnarly video part, whether you're Pyle or not, if you want it bad enough, you're gonna get it. Some people don't want it that bad. Like he's not gonna go out there and look like a chump. Even if he's like in his worst shape ever, like he'll try to pull it together to, like he's addicted to drugs and he got off drugs and pulled his whole everything together, Some people just don't have it in them to do it and some people do.
How did you get off drugs? What was the moment where you...
Oh, dude, there's many moments where I tried to quit, and I would try to continue drinking, and there was a syringe at the bottom of every bottle of beer I drank, and so enough was enough at one point, and then I finally made one day where I passed out and didn't get high, I didn't drink, and didn't take pills or something, and then I had a day. I woke up, I was like, holy shit, I got a fucking day. I haven't had a day in 7 years. I got one day. And I just been too afraid to lose that day. Now it's like 5 years later almost. In July 30th will be 5 years. And a lot of fucking shit happened for me. My whole world opened up with music, with skating. And I'm still learning tricks today that I thought I would never do when I was on dope. And I'm really, really grateful to have my skateboard still, and you know, have all the people that believed in me to continue to support me.
No.